Hello and welcome to the course No Code and No Math Machine Learning. My name is Jones Granatier and I will teach all the lectures of the course. As the name suggests, we are going to work with some tools that do not require any prior knowledge of computer programming. Nowadays, many people from other areas intend to study data science and machine learning because it has great applicability in most areas. However, these people end up having difficulties because most machine learning implementations require a lot of coding. So, it is necessary to learn a programming language such as Python, which is the most used for artificial intelligence. Another problem that can discourage students for studying this area is that in several materials, many equations and mathematical calculations are shown to understand how the techniques work. In summary, every day, a lot of students just give up because they have difficulties in programming and in mathematics. This course was created to fill this gap. If you don't want to learn either programming or math, you will be able to create your own projects. If you work in a company that has some data, you can implement some experiments to extract important insights. No code is needed. This course is also suitable for anyone who is a programmer or has experience in machine learning, as these professionals often do not have the time to implement code from scratch, so the tools can be very useful to increase productivity. In short, with just a few clicks, we can get the same results as the implementation with many lines of code. Now I will show you the contents that will be covered. The first tool you are going to learn is Google Vertex AI. I'm accessing the website of the tool. As you can see, it is 100% online. So you don't need to install anything in your own machine. You can see some options here. For example, load datasets, work with features, labeling tasks, pipelines, training, endpoints, and so on. The good point about this and the other tools is that we are going to just send the data and it will return all the results with zero code. In part number 2, you are going to learn about Data Robots AI. I'm accessing a project we are going to implement step by step, and the good point is that when you send the data, you can even visualize some graphs and also the statistics about all the features in your dataset. If you want to visualize all the graphs and the statistics in Python, for example, you need to implement the code from scratch. We can also take a look at the models that were generated. When we send the data, Data Robots will perform the tests using a lot of algorithms. It will recommend the best model with the best results. As we can see here, it is recommended for deployments. This word deploy means that you will put it online to receive data from the users and return the predictions. In the third part of the course, you are going to work with Obviously AI, which is one of the most easiest tools to work with machine learning without code. As the other tools, Obviously AI works online, So again, you don't need to install anything in your own machine. I'm showing you the results of a regression model. The goal is to predict house prices. We can see some metrics, and the good point is that it shows if the model is performing well or not. We can also take a look here at the end. Some personas are generated. For example, the first persona has these attributes and the price of the house is high. On the other hand, the second persona has these features and the price of the house is low. And we can even compare the fields, the number of bathrooms, number of bedrooms, the city, the condition, and so on. All these tools provide the coding if you want to integrate with a programming language, such as Python or JavaScript. We can also click this button, Launch Model. A new window will be opened. What is interesting is that you can set some attributes, for example, number of floors, number of bathrooms, number of bedrooms. When we click Predict, we will get here the price prediction according to these features. This web interface is automatically generated by Obviously AI. In part number 4, you are going to learn about BigML. It is also an online tool. We can view the menu with the options, and I'm going to show you a web interface that is automatically generated. The goal of this case study is to predict if a bank transaction is a fraud. We can change the transaction amount, the sender new balance, sender old balance, the type of the transaction, for example, a transfer. See that is fraud equals yes with a 99 probability. The prediction will be returned according to the data inputted by the user. In section number 5, you are going to learn about Microsoft Azure. What is interesting about this tool is that you can use the designer as you can see here. You just drag and drop the components to create the machine learning flow. And you can also use automated machine learning when you just send the data and the platform will do everything for you. There are 2 ways to use Microsoft Azure Machine Learning Studio. In this course, you are going to learn how to use the designer to only drag and drop the components and also how to work with automated machine learning. In the last section of the course, you are going to learn about Orange Tool. It is quite similar to Microsoft Azure Designer because you need just to drag and drop the components in order to make the experiments and get the results. It is one of the most easiest tools to learn machine learning. A lot of teachers use this tool to teach beginners in machine learning. This is the only tool that does not work online, so you need to download it and install it on your own machine. No prerequisites are needed. If you are a beginner, you will be able to follow the lectures. On the other hand, if you already have experience, you will learn new tools to speed up your work, and you will also see that it is possible to integrate them with code. We can read this sentence. It will be easier to understand the course if you have basic knowledge about machine learning. Of course, if you are a beginner, you will get a general view of the area. It is not a course on theory, but on how to use the tools to generate the results. We will work with classification, regression, and time series projects. In the next lecture, you will learn some concepts about these techniques. We are not going to implement complex projects, such as computer vision or natural language processing. The name of the course is also No Math. However, we will have 2 theoretical lectures where you are going to learn how to evaluate regression and classification algorithms. It will be easier for you to interpret the results generated by the tools. We could also create an entire course with many hours on each tool. However, you will only learn the basics of them. Another detail is that there are several other tools on the market. However, we are focusing only on the most used. To practice, at the end of each section, you will have a task and then a step-by-step video with the solution, so you can practice the content. Once again, welcome to this course. We hope you enjoy it and have a lot of ideas on how to use the tools in your own projects. See you in the next lecture.